It's time to rumble. It's time for the Royal Rumble. Participants include Drew Ortman, Logan Myers, and Travis from a Becky TMD on Slam Pigs Podcast. Night 2 doubleheader Royal Rumble weekend. We are back. We are live. Drew Ortman, Logan Myers, two of my favorite people on the entire planet. Welcome to the show, Slam Pigs Podcast. What's going on? Where can everyone catch you? Logan, first of all, what you do? You're on last night. Welcome back. Your channel, all that good stuff.
You guys can check me out right there on Twitter at Logan Myers 144, and please look up on YouTube Future Entertainment with me and OJ. Drew.
I was going to say, Logan, I did not forgot my wallet, left my change purse at home, but we're still going to draw some goddamn dimes. It's been a minute. Welcome back, my man, Drew Ortman. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back. Happy 2019. Where can everyone catch you and what you do?
Thanks, guys. You can catch me at Drew Ortman on Twitter or ProWrestlingJournal.com.
Excellent. Get over there, check them out. ProWrestlingJournal.com. All the goodness, news. Great writers, great blogs, everything. They got you covered. The Indies, WWE, all that good stuff. Tonight, though, it's strictly WWE main roster delights. Fellas, a lot of people's favorite pay-per-view is the Royal Rumble. It's in the books. 2019's come and gone. For the most part, I'd have to give it a pass. It was a fine show. I didn't have any major gripes. Nothing that's going to make me throw something through a television. Overall, before we get to anything, any details, as a general, let's review the show as a whole first for a change. What do you guys think of the show?
Go ahead, Drew.
I could give it a solid B. It had its highs and its lows. Had few surprises, I guess-ish. It seems like they went the safe route on a lot of stuff, which I can't complain about because at least it wasn't something bad. And I'm a fan also, just old school in me. I like the setting of the whole thing. I like that they're at a baseball field and coming out of the dugout, which gave it a whole different feel, which is always fun. So yeah I'll give it a B.
I was waiting on the Freebirds or the Road Warriors to come out of that dugout any second. Thought it was exactly. Super clash. I definitely agree. It's nice for a change to not have to look at the Monday Night Raw or SmackDown set for a Big Four pay-per-view. That's refreshing as hell. Logan, what'd you think of the show?
I gave it a B as well. A solid B, just like NXT TakeOver last night. There wasn't much that you can really, get mad over or be negative about. I mean, there was a couple things that you're kind of scratching your head. Since you guys didn't get to watch the pre-show, I'll do it just a little quick thing. Bobby Roode and Chad Gable took on one half of the Revival and one half of AOP, which was weird.
Shout out to Tater Snake.
Shout out to Tater Snake. I know he was happy. I know he was happy me mentioning Chad Gable there, but I will say, and then we had Rusev lose the title to Shinsuke. That was a head scratcher. And then, of course, the Fatal 4-Way for the Cruiserweight title. That was very, very, it's a Cruiserweight title match. It's a Cruiserweight match. You know what you're going to get out of them.
Buddy Murphy retains, correct?
Yes.
From the highlights they showed during the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, it looked like, a standard Fatal 4-Way Cruiserweight match. Nothing, shocking or nothing, botchy. Just pretty standard fare, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was.
But this show, the actual pay-per-view kicked off. I thank you for that, Logan. It's mighty white of you to catch us up. This show kicked off with SmackDown Women's Championship, Asuka defending against the man Becky Lynch. Let's get into it because this is going to be a running thing throughout the entire show. So let's get it out of our systems now. The holograms, the fucking CGI now that's in pro wrestling. Sometimes I'm still in the, I don't fully, it's not a lemon to me. Sometimes I think it looks kind of badass. I'm not for Brock, that skull thing, whatever,
that
is
cool.
back. That looked pretty cool.
Yes, I like that.
Is it overkill or do you don't mind it?
I don't mind it because they don't do it for everyone,
Yeah, keeping it special. Now, when they start having it on every Raw, then it'll probably get kind of old.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if Apollo Crews starts getting holograms, then
Well, you mean Shelton Benjamin? Wait, wait.
Yeah, somebody
Bobby
help out
Lashley.
Corey Graves and Michael Cole because they couldn't tell, for fuck's sake. We'll get there. Jesus Christ. I mean, one of them wears long tights, too. That's even sadder now. You know what? I didn't mind this match. I thought I saw a lot of people bitching about the finish. We'll get there in a second with the tap. But as far as the match, there was that one spot on the apron which was like, I don't know what they were going for, a Northern Lights brain buster. It honestly, my stomach sank for a second. I thought she was going to land right on her goddamn head, gentlemen.
Yeah, that was a little cringeworthy. But really, that was probably the worst part of the whole thing, for sure.
Yeah. Good. But all in all, I would say that match was pretty decent. I think it was better than the triple threat match with Charlotte, and that's saying something too.
Yeah. Now we know the elephant in the room, the finish of this match, Becky tapping out to Asuka. I'll come on straight up. I didn't mind it. I know a lot of people said this really hurt Becky, but she's tapping to Asuka, and I think it's I like.
Well, and when did a tap ever become like such a bad thing? Like it's going to ruin her credibility or something? It's fine. It's the finish.
No, she taps every week. Then there might be a problem. But you know, out of principle, I can't bitch. I took all of 2018 to bitch about what they were doing with Asuka. I can't do that and then bitch about this. I'm glad that it made Asuka still look strong. She's finally Asuka of old again, at least.
Yeah, and not to jump ahead, but can you compare this to the finish of the Balor Brock match?
In a way,
yeah.
I feel like that match should have got a little more time. That was I didn't hate that finish as much either. Just it felt shorter, but it's a Brock
that's what
match.
I mean. The finish compared to the finish for this one, it was kind of like they tapped. It was a good point to tap, and it was better than a schmoz.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when you talk about Asuka or you bring Asuka in a conversation and she's going to make somebody submit, she reminds me. I know a lot of people might criticize me for saying it, but every time Chris Benoit put somebody in the crippler crossface, the first thing that my first reaction was, well, their majority, most of the time, are going to tap. So Asuka, that's her finish. That's her main finish. So that's like her bread and butter. So you can't be mad about that.
Yep, pretty much. Where does Asuka go from here? Probably back to Charlotte for the rematch, I would say, for Mania.
Yeah.
I don't know. You down with that? You down with OPP or?
That
was awful. I apologize.
I don't know. It's too early for me to really say.
Yeah. Well, Elimination Chamber and Fastlane are right around the corner, so there's plenty of time for storylines to change like they always do.
Why is it anybody says Fastlane, I'm just like, ugh.
Right?
Gross.
Or like
I'm okay with the Elimination Chamber, but Fastlane, it's like pushing it.
No, I know what it Drew means though. There's fucking pay-per-view names. I got another one. You guys ready to get sick? You ready? Here it goes. Battleground. I just filler shit. That's all I think.
Capital Punishment.
Easy. You watch your mouth. Oh, that was R-Truth's Day in the Sun. Where the fuck are we? Okay, here we go. The Mrs. Dad was the star of this segment for me and the Shooting Star Press. This bored me to tears. The Bar against. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying BESTIES. I'm not saying what Corey Graves repeatedly kept saying. I don't like this angle.
I missed it. What did he keep saying?
The besties. Unless they make Miz heel and turn on him, then this is awful. What did you guys think of this?
I was checked out. I wasn't from the beginning of it. I mean, I haven't been following the storyline too close on SmackDown as it is, and then I just wasn't. There was something missing where I just didn't care about this match at all.
Could it have been the lack of a missing fourth actual wrestler, perhaps?
Yeah, that might be it.
Logan,
but he wears a baseball jersey. It's fine.
That's true, and they match now. Logan, what's your 2 cents or 2 dimes or what cents Drew's in the house for this match?
Well, my 2 quarters on this situation is basically, when you look at every time I look at the Miz, I either think of a singles competitor, or if you want to mention him in a tag team, the only person I can think of is John Morrison.
Yeah.
Am I wrong to say that?
Probably, and then I'd probably think Sandow next.
Sandow, yeah.
Yeah. But Cesaro and Sheamus is so good as a tag team. I don't see why they dropped the titles to The Miz and Shane McMahon. That's one of those things that I can say is a head scratcher.
Because there's no money in a bar match at WrestleMania in that company's eyes. They need a McMahon in some match every year, it seems.
Yeah.
Just
So it's
has
going
to
to
be
be
that way.
him and Miz probably, right? 1-on-1.
I would think. Like, by the time Mania gets here, it'll be like best friends for all that bullshit. Gaga, fucking. And then Shane will do his high spots, and everybody will act like it was amazing in the moment and try to convince themselves that they didn't just sit through a bunch of bland bullshit for 10 minutes to get to one Shane high spot. And on to the next match in WrestleMania is what's going to happen, pretty much.
Yeah.
Let me say this right now. The Miz is not Kevin Owens or AJ Styles. So I just don't see them having that kind of match where everybody was coming in like, oh, it's not going to be a good match. And then it is. It's not going to be that way this year. I just don't. If that is the case, if that match happens at Mania, it's not going to be what people think it will be.
I'm actually glad you said the name Kevin Owens too, because I feel like I'll forget it later. I'm surprised we didn't see him in the Rumble, especially since they've been putting like Kevin Owens returns vignettes on television recently. But we'll get down there later.
I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anybody else. But I'm not going to say anything. But
don't you say anything. That takes us to the Raw Women's title, correct, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yep.
I didn't hate this match. I actually enjoyed the shit out of this match. Ronda did it again for me.
Yeah, I really like this match. It was I don't know. I think it was placed really well on the card too, and I think after the previous match, it made me. This match could probably been half of what it was, and I still would have liked it after that tag match. So, yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Guys, I love the part where Ronda, pretty much talks shit right back to the crowd and was like, "You think I can't wrestle?" and pulled out a Three Amigos and did some transitions, which were pretty nicely done, I must say. That was I love when the marks get theirs like that sometimes, and they just when they're left speechless is the best.
Yeah. Another thing is, if you notice, Ronda Rousey does fairly well with smaller opponents, something sort of like Brock Lesnar does with smaller opponents as well.
Yeah.
And as much as I'm not trying to twist her ego up or anything, I'm not trying to, make all you Sasha Banks fans, come in your pants or anything. But I'm just saying this right now. Sasha Banks did pretty well in this match, and it was better than I thought it would be.
Getting late night Logan tonight, Drew. It's an honor. Nah, she definitely held her own. I got to give it to Sasha as much as I hate to. She held up to her end of the bargain in this match. There was some good selling, psychology, pacing, all that stuff. And the only thing I didn't like was the weird Piper's Pit finish. Like the bridge was kind of half-assed, and I don't know. I guess it worked.
It didn't seem like an ending. I was kind of surprised when it was the ending. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think she was trying to sell that arm injury too, as well. You know what I mean? I think that's what she was trying to pull off, and that's why she did it like half-assed.
Yeah. It's kind of weird too. We saw so many submissions on this show, and this is the match with Ronda where we don't see one.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of odd.
And Ronda Rousey obviously gets the win with Piper's Pit after the match. We thought at first the babyface stared down, and you could just tell kind of the way that the camera kept zooming in on Sasha more and more, just thinking about it. I thought she was going to attack her, but it never happened. But she just held up the 4 horsewomen, and that was it. I guess we all give this a pass then, correct?
I guess. I have this feeling that there's more to the story of the 4 horsewomen as well.
Yeah. I still don't want to do the thing like I still think it would be more shocking, and if they really want to get Ronda over as a babyface, because God knows they made her tap hands with every fan in the arena on their way down. To drive home, she's a babyface. Baszler is the hired gun from whoever wants her taken out. I think the fans will cheer Ronda over Baszler. They have to any day.
Yeah.
I don't think they have to. I think it's just organic to root against Baszler when it's Ronda. She's just a bigger draw and a bigger name, in my opinion. I mean, of course, she's a bigger draw and bigger name. You know, her background with UFC and all that. But I'm just saying, like in general, I just don't see Baszler as that person that's going to be a bigger star than Ronda, even though Baszler has come a long ways, you know, in a short amount of time and has shocked a lot of people with her wrestling moves.
Yeah. We will see. It looks like it's going to be Lynch and Rousey. We'll get there in just a second, actually. I think it's time for the Women's Rumble match, if I'm not mistaken.
The Rumble.
Rumble. Last year's Women's Rumble match was actually better than the men's. This year's about neck and neck. I mean, probably the men's was better this year, but I didn't, this wasn't a bad Rumble.
Yeah, this one got better as it went.
I think Logan brought back Hornswoggle from the dead because last night on our NXT post show he made numerous Hornswoggle references out of nowhere, and it's kind of funny and coincidental, Logan, that would just happen.
I just had this random thought that Hornswoggle, because you know how WWE is, they always somehow bring back Hornswoggle somewhere. I thought it would be in the men's rumble, but it was different.
And by the way, Zelina Vega dressed as Vega. Just take me now. Take me now. What was your pick last night, Logan? Becky Lynch, right? So you win. You won the pony. Drew, who was your pick going into this?
I didn't really pick anybody.
Who did you want to win?
I guess that would make I don't
Tamina?
know. Yeah. Maybe a Tamina, Nia Jax, both to the floor, Lex Luger, Bret Hart finish.
Oh, Lord.
It ends in a culmination of 3 great matches at WrestleMania involving Tamina and Nia Jax.
Even better, it could have been like 05 when Batista and Cena fell at the same time, and how Vince tore both his quads. It could have been like The Rock coming out, like ask him to put The Rock tour-based tour. Oh, God. In my heart of hearts, I wanted Ember Moon, but, say a lot of
It could
people.
have happened, too.
And
I guess I was thinking Charlotte, maybe. I guess that's who I was probably thinking in the back of my head going in.
And going in, that was the name that I didn't want at all to win. So.
Because I just assumed Becky wasn't in it, I guess.
I got to say something, though. Out of all 30 women in that, no one had a presence more in that ring than Charlotte. She demands that ring when she's in there. She's a true fucking ring
Even
general.
the entrance.
It's short a time, and people say it all the time, but it's so true. As short a time as she's been doing this, it's amazing. Like, she acts like a 20-year vet. It's fucking amazing. She got the genes, not David, in that family, for sure. For sure. But, my God. What did you think of this Rumble, Logan?
Oh, this Rumble was pretty decent. I did pop for Ripley when she came out. I was very happy to see her out there. And she also, to me, she's another name that if when she gets in the ring, she demands presence too. And I think that's also something I actually got to look at, and I see this was her. Basically, I think when she came out, this was her opportunity to show people what she's made of, and she gave it all she got. And I enjoyed.
Don't forget my lady, the lady, Lacey Evans, Drew, at number 1. That's the prize I had. And she's got it too. She has that total X factor for me.
She was in there a while, surprisingly.
Also, Natalia going fucking like 55 minutes. One of the oldest women on the roster, getting it done, rolling up her sleeves that she never has.
The Iron Woman.
Yeah.
OJ's here.
He's added to this group thing he was called, so if he wants to join, just click the little button. We'll get it going.
No, he's actually in the call.
Oh, I thought that was Drew pulling a Lawler. I'm glad you're okay, Drew.
Oh, thank you.
He was pulling a Lawler.
OJ! What's going on?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's over? Rumble's over? Oh.
How's it going?
Sorry, I thought I was having a bad dream. What's going on, guys?
A bad dream that Aleister Black was eliminated by Baron Corbin.
Oh, he's calling a shit show.
The Rumble? Man, Ooh-wee. Where we at, guys?
We are at the Women's Rumble match.
Oh, boy.
I was actually just about to bring up Casey Catanzaro, the female Ricochet, literally
I
before you
thought she was
called.
really good.
She's amazing. Ninja Warrior in the house.
Yeah, I was really impressed with her and Candice LeRae. That was also a
She did
shocker.
not
I
impress
didn't.
me. She looked blown up and she looked sloppy as fuck.
She didn't impress me. I was just a
I
little
thought she was
shocked
going to
that
get
she was out
juice.
there.
I mean, yeah,
Bummer.
no thumbtacks.
Right.
OJ, what'd you think of the Women's Rumble? We got all our thoughts in.
Not enough surprises, man. Last year, I mean, even like last year, even seeing who was in it? Tori Wilson, right? Tori Wilson, Kelly. Saw Beth Phoenix come back. Like, I understand that they were showcasing a lot of the current talent that they have, spanning over NXT and the UK and all that shit. But goddamn, dude, there wasn't much there. Because I mean, granted, I don't. It almost became a joke. I mean, with the amount of themes that I had no clue who the fuck it was, it was like I have no idea who half these women are.
And it does go to show how little they put into booking anyone not named Becky, Charlotte, Asuka. You know,
Mm-hmm.
what's the other strongest female storyline? The battle over fucking Jimmy Uso or whatever? Is that a? I know the Battle of Atlanta
Yeah.
was the thing, Drew, but it's the Battle of Jimmy.
Yeah, that's.
It hasn't been a bad
Pass on that one.
storyline. It's we've seen worse storylines when it comes to WWE. I mean, at least they're
True.
trying to do something, you know.
As much
And I'm
here's
not
the
gonna
thing
lie,
for
Mandy Rose was pretty damn good looking in that hotel room.
both Rumbles, and this is more and more each year, and I'll flat out say it. Yes, it's nice sometimes, but I'm over the NXT surprises, and what does that say for your main guys if you got to fill it up with almost as many NXT guys in a way? If you look at the bigger picture,
Look, one or two is okay, but that's the same thing with like surprises, like people that haven't been around for a while. I mean, the one big surprise was what, Hornswoggle in the Women's Rumble. I mean, come
Jeff Jarrett, but that's not NXT.
on. Lita. Well, yeah, that's in the men's. But I'm saying with the Women's Rumble, I mean, they could. What, Lita was she too busy this weekend? You know what I mean? Like, we couldn't get one nostalgia pop.
Caitlyn wasn't falling off the wagon this week.
Yeah.
They got Maria, for fuck's sake, who, speaking of looking lost, and just the fuck was that?
I thought that they were gone, to be honest
Yeah,
with you. I had no fucking clue.
me too. No revival anywhere
Yeah.
on this show.
With the overall result, having Becky win it, I kind of expected it, especially when they had the Lana bump during the pre-show. I figured that, well, that means that somebody's gonna take her place. So wasn't too many surprises, and I think that's what, especially with the Rumbles, man, that fucking kills me.
I knew, like, as slow as she was walking, like, slower than the Undertaker to the ring, and I knew then something. So.
Yeah.
I think WWE got the reaction they wanted for this match. Because I think, and as cool as it is that it's at a baseball field, like we were saying, Drew, and as cool as arena shows are, I think a Rumble show, you would prefer a smaller venue because, as they always say, like, the sound travels up at a big stadium, so you don't get that initial monster pop. It kind of takes a second.
Man, yeah, because when the crowd died during this show, I mean, it just died every time. Complete silence almost.
Yeah.
Like, you could see where they had the spots, especially during this match, where they had the spots laid out to get big pops, and there was nothing. And then you would almost see them looking around like clueless at that point.
Yeah, some of the ones in the men's later too, like you would think some would be the biggest of the show, like Pete Dunne, Aleister Black, surprise, like they were big, but it took a second. I feel that delay again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Because it's not like directly, reflecting back on you or whatever, the sound and all that bullshit. But yeah, it definitely shows. But I think the crowd was definitely on their feet. You could tell it's just that sound again, that delay. But for what it's worth,
Yeah, the other thing too is, man, we can't be having these fucking 7-hour shows and expecting good crowd reactions. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it's too much at some point. I know I was talking about it on the show last night with NXT, where that's fucking 2.5 hours of your life and you're done. You're good. The shit dragged the fuck on. That's why, like I said, man, I was joking about it the whole night. Like, this thing's gonna go until fucking Tuesday, isn't it? As soon as Brock and AJ or fucking Brock and Finn came on, I was like, oh Jesus Christ, 10:40, and we're just starting this shit.
Yeah. I feel like the women's Rumble felt like it went shorter than the men's, though. Like, it flew by faster for me. Probably because it was the first Rumble match. So.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It did seem to go really fast.
Do we know like the times? Do we know that? Like, did one go like 45 minutes and another an hour? I don't know. I actually felt like the men's Rumble went by. For me personally, a lot quicker because I knew instantly right away when people are coming out. I was like, oh yeah, I know who this is. I know who that is. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Whereas like with the women's Rumble, it was like you said, man, such a lack of depth right now, huh?
First time I ever noticed during a Becky chant in this, I don't know if you guys called it the first Becky chant, the "We Want Becky," and then the 50-50 chant of "No, we don't." I think, could they be pushing it too hard already with this, or is that just the state of affairs with the modern fan? They just are fickle. They have no fucking attention
It's the
span.
fans. You're not gonna please them, and as soon as you start trying to give them what they want, they're gonna turn on it right away, and then want something else. And if you don't give them that, they're just gonna. It's just gonna be like that rotation that just keeps happening, and
But I
there's.
see their
But
point too sometimes. It's like you can't book somebody like Steve Austin, have him appear in a Rumble, and then literally 2 minutes later she's down hurt in the match. I know she had a match earlier, but I mean, they've got to have some fire. They got to have some momentum. They can't. I don't know what it is.
Can you blame them too when it's completely obvious, when it's completely written, it's right in front of your fucking face, the whole thing.
Braun.
Right, but I mean, you don't think it was like, yeah, like people aren't stupid now. They're not dumb to the product. Like they like as soon Lana's hurt, fucking Becky loses to Asuka and walks away looking all dejected. It's like right then and there. It's like, oh, fucking Stevie Wonder could see this shit from a mile away. And at some point, it's like, especially with the Rumble, which is, I don't know if we've talked about this in depth, but with a pay-per-view like Survivor Series, it's about the build-up. It's about the anticipation of not knowing, and especially with the Rumble, when you have somebody that you don't expect win it, like a Bayley. Like, what if Bayley won tonight? That would have been incredible. Like, who the fuck would have seen that coming?
Crowd was really pissed when she was eliminated too, by the way.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was I didn't expect that.
Welcome back to relevancy, Bayley.
Right.
Which
No,
isn't
you
her
gotta,
fault.
I can't say I blame 50% of the crowd going, no, we don't, for Becky. It's the same thing when a week before you had, the Royal Rumbles. The problem they had a few years ago with like Roman, essentially they're pushing him down your throat saying, yeah, this guy's going to win the Rumble. And then he wins the Rumble and they don't react well to it. It's like, yeah, because people like to not know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Here's my
They
money,
like
surprise me, kind of thing. He likes to go to a horror movie for the gore and being shocked. And if it's a half-ass fucking horror movie, that's like, I hate horror movies that are rated PG-13. It's like, what's the fucking point? What's the fucking, let me have some non-alcoholic beer while I'm at it, while I watch it. And you know what I mean? Like, I get
like,
it.
Even shitty, like doing like 4 Scream movies. Maybe they're not the best, but I'll watch them because I want to know who the killer is at the end.
There'll be tits.
You know what I mean?
At least.
I mean, at the very least. But at least, yeah, there's that element of surprise. And where it's like, if you were to say at the beginning of Scream 1 that, spoiler alert, Billy's the fucking killer and so is Stu, what would be the point of watching the rest of the movie?
And sorry to all the listeners who are about to divulge in all the Scream movies and were excited and just got it spoiled for them. We apologize, but
yeah, well, if you haven't seen it already, I mean, it's been 20 years, man.
I just rented it from Redbox.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No,
Blu-ray edition.
Logan, there wasn't any tits in the women's Royal Rumble, but there was a winner. It was the man. It was Becky Lynch, and it looks like we're going Becky Ronda into Mania. What's your guys' real take on that, real quick, as the possible women's match?
I still think they might throw Charlotte in it.
They probably will.
just with the ending and everything. Wait, was that the right match? No. Anyways, I still think they might. Because I hate the fact that they always think making things a triple threat and a fatal four-way will make it better. And it doesn't. Period.
Yeah,
Gotta put,
I mean,
gotta put more whipped cream on the ice cream. That's what you gotta do.
unless
It's always true.
unless it leads to Ronda's first loss, I don't really care.
Logan?
I see them adding Charlotte, but I think the money is more on just Ronda and Becky. But like I said, I called it. Becky Lynch won it, so.
There you go.
I think this show, in a way, top to bottom, kind of showed that maybe Vince is currently in a mood where he's just wanting to give the fans something that they'll like and making it easy and moving along.
Or enough, like, teases to shut them up enough to hope that the fans are dumb enough to not see what they're doing. Like the David and Goliath stuff, which we'll get to here just in a second. After we talk about the WWE title match with Eric Rowan, the enforcer now, Eric Rowan for Daniel Bryan, against the Hurricane, AJ Styles. You know what? This match, another great in-ring fucking work here. I enjoyed it. The finish was fucking shit, though. I did not enjoy it. If you're gonna do it like that, at least not take 2 months to cover him, Daniel Bryan. You should know better. Shame
that
on
was a
you.
shitty fucking choke slam too. Is that what it was? A choke slam?
I mean, it's the flannel shirt probably. It's constricting, but Nirvana Eric Rowan now has debuted, guys. What the fuck is going on, Logan?
So is Daniel Bryan a cult leader now? Is this straight edge society part 2?
That's exactly what I said on Twitter earlier. As soon as I saw this, I'm like, well, there's Luke Gallows.
And that's the thing is, I was like, man, does that mean that they're gonna make Rowan live the gimmick? So now he's got to just like who was it? The woman there? They found her at the bar drinking. Whatever her name was. Yeah, and they got rid of her. So now does Rowan have to go vegan?
Yeah. He's got to get new boots because they were made of leather. What'd you guys think of the actual? Take the finish out, take the Rowan out. The actual match, I think, once again, another fine match between these two. As you would expect, it's just like watching era circa like 05 Ring of Honor again.
Yeah, I would give it overall, like, I loved the match, hated the ending, but also am intrigued to that because I still like this Daniel Bryan character. I'm a fan so far, so. But I hated the ending, so who knows? There
was a beautiful transition out of an abdominal stretch that Styles gave to Bryan in this, and he turned it into like a weird crucifix powerbomb, and I'd never seen it.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was fucking solid. It was so slick. And that's why I got pissed more at the finish, just stuff like this. These guys, they're as they say, kicking it in third gear, brother, and just taking it home, and then boom, Rowan time, OJ.
Yeah. Did he have those tattoos before he got hurt or whatever?
I couldn't tell. He was wearing the Skyrim gauntlets to cover him up.
Okay. I thought that was it was an interesting look there. I don't know. Match was okay. I was pretty dead by that point, but yeah, it's I don't know. Do you see this continuing with AJ, or do you think that they'll move on?
They got him. They got to move on now. This is what the third match between Daniel Bryan and I just
hope so. I don't know.
The easiest possible storyline for Daniel Bryan to have going into Mania, if anything, based on the gimmick, is a WWE title program with Otis Dozovich, because all he does is post about eating fucking steak on Twitter. Just do it. Pull the trigger. I would probably go Mysterio Bryan or Hardy and Bryan into Mania. Why not? Fuck it.
As long as you're... if you're going to have Lesnar and Rollins on the other side, I guess you could have a weaker match.
I mean...
I wouldn't call it a weaker match either.
What else you got as far as SmackDown babyfaces right now? What else you really got? You want Orton in there? I don't. You want Orton's sweet redemption from WrestleMania 30, Logan?
To be honest, I don't want any of them in there that you mentioned.
I don't even want Daniel Bryan in there. I'll be honest. I don't want that as my fucking WWE title match. I would have preferred Styles just kept the belt. Some kind of, I don't know.
Styles Gargano.
I just think it's time for AJ Styles to move on. I think he's done it all with the champion. I think, who else was he going to defend it against? Randy Orton? You guys just said you didn't want him in there. So it's just like, in my opinion, I just don't know if... I think Daniel Bryan and Rey Mysterio would put on a hell of a match, too. But I also want to see Rusev, Shinsuke Nakamura, Andrade, and Rey Mysterio in a fatal four-way for the U.S. title or something like that. I don't think Rey Mysterio needs to be in the main event scene for the WWE champion. They need some star power on SmackDown against Daniel Bryan. Because other than AJ, there really isn't anybody.
No reason Balor shouldn't have been on SmackDown by now, in my opinion.
Yeah, or Seth. Even Seth on SmackDown.
That's what they should do, is take AJ and Balor into Mania. That'd be awesome.
That'd be good.
I don't know. Drew, what did you think of this?
Do you think he continues the feud with the McMahons, and that's Triple H gets his let me blow myself for a half an hour match at Mania with AJ?
Probably. Yeah. He punches Stephanie on SmackDown this week. like the storyline kayfabe, she's like, I'm pregnant, and he hits her right in the fucking stomach, and that's how Triple H comes back. And they show Vince just like rubbing his hands and laughing in the corner. Abortions are overrated. Anyway, let's move on. Jesus Christ, Finn and Brock. You know what? At first, this was reminding me of the great match Brock had with Punk, especially that overhead belly to belly on the outside. Before we get to anything in the match, put the tweet out. A lot of people put the tweets out. You dressed as a demon for Baron Corbin, but for Balor but for Brock Lesnar, you put on your Sunday best white boots. I don't fucking get this. It makes no fucking sense. Sorry, guys. There had to be an anger rant at some point on a 5-hour fucking pay-per-view. There it is. What the fuck? And you could hear it in the crowd too. As soon as regular Finn music hit, that whole crowd went a collective, oh. Like, what? Anybody got anything on why they did this?
No. They don't want the Demon Balor to lose.
Yeah. Damn it, Drew.
I'll tell you what, man.
That's about it. That's all I can think. I mean, as far as McMahon WWE logic goes,
It's a good fucking argument.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea. I don't think it'd be a bad idea to save that for somehow you have Finn win maybe a tournament or something, faces Lesnar again at Mania, and then brings the Demon out.
Yeah.
That could be something, but of course,
we're not.
Why not? It's probably not going to be mentioned. They're probably not even gonna bother.
I guess if you think about it too, and I can't pinpoint exactly why my brain is thinking this, but I don't think the match that him and Lesnar gave would have worked if he was the Demon, if that makes any sense.
Right. Tapping out the Demon.
Yeah. It just, the match itself, it just kind of seemed like the whole comeback story that they're going for with the David and Goliath. It just wouldn't have made sense.
It probably wouldn't irritate me as much as if they didn't make him, put on the Party City makeup for Baron Corbin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's at this point, Baron Corbin is the character Baron Corbin in the booking meetings is the rib. Like, let's eliminate Aleister Black and see how those fuckers like it in the Rumble.
Well, I think the first time he used the demon paint was a tag match with Tommy. So,
look, yeah, we all need a little something to overcome how good that fucking theme song is. All right.
Okay. It's going to go down in the annals with Alex Riley's themes that are too fucking good for the guys that had them. For sure.
Maven.
Maven.
Sorry, Logan.
And it's really
Dave
sad
Sullivan.
if you go back, there's so many themes that guys didn't deserve. It's unreal. The listeners, if you ever get a chance and you're that fucking bored, check it out sometime.
I want to be a Hulkamaniac.
Nobody deserves that. Jesus.
How about Marcus Corbin? You're going down.
Ernest Miller. Somebody call my mom. Oh boy, that was something. What'd you think of this match, Logan? How it went down, the finish, all that shit.
I've said this before and I'll say it again. Brock Lesnar wrestles 10 times better when he's facing a smaller opponent that is fast and who can actually go. And it's not me saying, oh, Brock can only go when it's a guy like AJ or Finn. I just think this match was actually decent. Um, I I think it was rushed a little bit, but at the same time, I think it is what it is because we know what we're gonna get from Brock Lesnar, and I don't think it needed to go, like 10 minutes more. I'm not saying it should have, but I think they did rush it just a little bit, and but I do like the finish. Um,
You
Brock,
know, though, Logan, at this point in at that point in the show, it was one of the things that got me back up. The fact that these Brock Lesnar matches are kind of like these under 10-minute fucking car crashes.
Big fight feel type thing.
Yep.
And then after he retained, attacking Finn Balor after the match, to me, I liked that part of it, and the only reason I liked it was because if I'm gonna give shout out to Corey Graves and Michael Cole on this, but they really helped that ending in the aftermath of the match because of I think it was Michael Cole that said Lesnar had massive respect for what Finn Balor gave to him during that match, that he had to do what he did to Finn after the match. It kind of like made Finn Balor seem a little bit, more important.
Made him seem like he could be like, well, once again, I mean, it helped Finn's fucking stock rise.
Yes, that's what I enjoyed about. That's what I liked about it. I think it was very smart. I think if you're not gonna have them, overcome the beast incarnate, you have to at least build them up to be at least a threat, maybe in the future. And I think that's what they did with Finn Balor here.
He did the same thing with AJ.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
The vignette before the match was really well done. I will say that.
Yes.
Oh, the package. The package.
The package. The Luger.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Drew, how did this match suit you?
Let's just change his name to Just a Total Package.
Yeah. Let's just change Balor's name to Cock Shots, because like every picture he posts now on Twitter, just like cock shots of him on the ring apron.
At least it's not baby oil.
That's Ahmed Johnson's gimmick. It's already taken and copywritten. Episode Mambo! Whatever he's saying. Drew.
I thought his gimmick was wearing way too many fucking elbow pads.
Put like thigh pads
and
on your
butt
fucking
cheeks everywhere. Butt cheeks for days.
Someday, Hibiki Honors video for Ahmed Johnson. 2019. Look for that soon. What you think, Drew? We're a Universal title match.
Oh, you know what? I loved it. I did. I thought it was a good match. It was quick and to the point. I mean, you could say it wasn't long enough, but I thought it was perfect for the story they were telling. And they gave Balor enough offense to make him look like a real credible opponent, but they still made Brock look like he kind of squashed him in a way to keep him, in that way. So, yeah, I thought it was great.
I did appreciate that little tail of the tape picture for like just the. You noticed how much small, but when you see that, you're like, holy shit! Like Brock's left titty is as big as Finn's torso. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And gentlemen, as always, the night capped off men's Royal Rumble. Jeff Jarrett, Elias started. Elias's promo went on for fucking ever. Maybe it's just that point in the night. I was just, come on. But it was well worth it when I heard the 1994 theme of Jeff Jarrett blast through the arena, guys.
What's funny is I actually was confused for a second because I didn't recognize what the music was. Because I'm so used to either, what you want to call it, the fucking TNA when he was it My World or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, is it Brother Love? Because I kept seeing the whole night. It was the sign that said, Pritchard Pritchard owns Meltzer.
I wish Conrad
like,
with
holy
Thompson
shit.
would have been an entrant. That would have been amazing. But he's an A. Hey, speaking of AEW, did you guys see that video of the security taking that shirt off the fan at the Rumble tonight by chance?
Yeah.
Woof.
No.
Caught you red-handed this time.
Yeah, there's no making that story up.
What happened?
It's just some big security dude. Literally, the kid couldn't have been more than 15. Just making him take his AEW shirt off. And like the crowd booed too. Like it's something.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there was a fucking sign in the crowd with somebody that it said CTE, 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 like the brain injuries, the chronic brain injuries.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny when Daniel Bryan was walking out.
Who thinks to make a sign over that? Like, Jesus. Fucking Chris Nowinski's so proud of that sign, I'm sure, somewhere.
Well, the best part was it was during Daniel Bryan's match when he was walking out.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Fucking A. Oh.
But yeah, I couldn't have thought, I mean, Jarrett was what, the only surprise of the night? Really?
Nia Jax. Probably.
Ugh. I mean, I'm talking about a guy that's like, look, I understand, like, you know, you want to push your talent, whatever, but like the Royal Rumble is the one time a year that you should have that surprise pop. And I mean, for Jarrett to be the only guy, I can't think of like, and with the fucking shitty Four Horsemen attire, I can't think of a worse fucking.
Even Booker T was too busy. Couldn't be bothered this year.
Are you kidding? I know.
Well, hey, you know what, OJ? I'm so glad you're here because at number 22, all was well in the world because the man himself made his way down long tights wearing Shelton Benjamin.
Oh yeah,
that was excellent.
I like those tights.
He lasted a long time too. I was happy about it.
Does Kurt Angle count as a
there's one. I was
quote
surprised.
unquote legend entrant?
Is it though? Because he's been in like Survivor Series and WrestleMania. Like that's kind of expected. He was, in a way, I guess.
Yeah. So I think he wasn't he expected. I thought he was expected. Like I thought they'd already announced.
I couldn't believe either when I saw people on Twitter bitching how fast Kurt was on it. I'm like, you're lucky the man can even walk, let alone be an entrant. Why don't you just, Jesus Christ? So it's
Next year he's gonna be like the Sheik. He'll have to win because you can't throw him out.
You know what? He's getting 10 years from now. He'll probably be walking like the Sheik. Unfortunately, hopefully he doesn't have that aquarium on his belly button that the Sheik has. You know what I'm talking about? That growth. It's like a crystal ball.
Look into it.
Give me Repo, man.
Fuck yeah, Barry Dorso. What's he doing? Yeah. Oh wait, he has a lawsuit against the WWE with like those 50 other wrestlers. Like the concussion suit. CTE. Logan, what do you think of the Rumble match?
I'll be honest with you. I popped when Aleister Black came out because you know how big of a fan I am.
I know you did.
I think the most shocking one was Johnny Gargano. I thought that was pretty good, and Seth Rollins and him when they were going in the ring. My first reaction was, why can't this just happen just on a pay-per-view, just one-on-one, please?
Did anybody else notice when Gargano and a couple of those other guys got in there, everybody else in the ring all of a sudden looked really bad?
Yeah.
Like it it's just like they couldn't up their game at the moment to match everybody else that was in the ring with them.
WWE has also really been giving Mustafa Ali quite the little rocket strap to his back in a way, much better than a 205
He's been really good too.
And yes, but when I think about it, and I've taken a step back, this is just a babyface Jinder Mahal experiment for them to get that Indian market in a way. I mean, I'm not trying to be a dick, but I mean it's business. But I think that's what that is, and they're doing a good job. I feel like they're it's making sense. He's not looking too weak. He's not looking too strong. He got his revenge tonight against Joe. That stare down with Joe like you motherfucker, I'm coming for you. That was great.
Yeah.
This is Joe, but
hit that diversity. Keep it real. They know what they're doing.
You think that's a possibility for Daniel Bryan at Mania?
Ali.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate it.
I'd be alright.
I know that they were working the over the holidays. They were working the house the circuit together, house shows. So
I wouldn't hate it. No.
I don't
It's
know.
something that we
underdogs.
always bitch about. It's something new, so I can't hate it on it too much, so I give it a chance. But to debut it on that kind of stage,
Yeah.
it could go either way.
Has there been an AJ Ali match yet?
On like SmackDown or something, I'm not sure. I know
I'm
I
not
do
sure.
know that they did work
That'd be
each other on the house show circuit though, which it's interesting.
How would you feel about Ali for the title with Bryan at Mania, Logan?
Uh, I I like the idea actually. I think Mustafa Ali, he brings he brings like that. He kind of brought over that heart and soul of 205 Live to SmackDown Live. So now every time I see him on SmackDown Live, it's like he reminds me of that heart and soul of SmackDown Live. He has that AJ Styles feel for wanting to be the face that runs the place. Uh, I kind of like it. I think it's a really good positive. Uh, I think Mustafa Ali in the long run will benefit with the way his in ring abilities just, man, they're really amazing. So uh, I want to see more. And I think Samoa Joe and him actually put on a really good match on SmackDown last week. So
He's actually being booked like a little bit bigger version of Rey Mysterio in like late '96 when he was stepping up
yes.
outside the cruiserweight division, but Kevin Nash at the same time was like fucking lawn darting him into a trailer. But he was still stepping up and sometimes beating heavyweight guys. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
And it's a good thing. It's a positive feel, and I enjoy it. Mustafa Ali isn't bad in he's, of course, he's not bad in ring, but what I was trying to say is he's really good on the mic too. I mean, he's actually decent on the mic. So, and usually we haven't seen that out of some of the guys on 205 Live, I think. So, and he is basically the first guy to actually like get out of the shadow of 205 Live and get on like the main roster show.
And that's something that I think they could absolutely use if they do a feud with Daniel Bryan. I mean, calling him the new Daniel Bryan, he could basically try to call Mustafa Ali the underdog because he comes from 205 Live, which, get him heel heat because obviously, who's a bigger underdog than fucking Daniel Bryan?
And it would be a very big pop for Daniel Bryan to put over a guy like Mustafa Ali on at WrestleMania. I don't see Mustafa Ali actually winning the title,
No,
but
absolutely not.
but I could see Mustafa Ali actually beating Daniel Bryan on a SmackDown in a non-title fashion.
And like the beginning of that storyline to Mania, they could start it off where like Bryan tries to convert Ali at first. Like, I was where you're at. Don't listen to these people. Don't let them twist your mind. Join me and Rowan and let us show you the way, straight edge society type shit and blah, blah, blah. And he refuses. And then boom, then we're off.
And it would be really good. And then you can have Ali bring in somebody that's like Eric Rowan size that like can be his like enforcer, and just that way.
You know what wouldn't be really good,
Turn
Drew?
Harper face.
Drew, you know what wouldn't be really good? If Braun Strowman would have won the Rumble tonight, because I think the fans are over it, and I feel like he's a heel again. Like, what the fuck's going on with Braun's character?
So is he a heel as in like turning heel, or is he a heel just because everybody's sick of him and they want him to get the fuck out? I have no interest in him anymore, honestly. Like, I don't know who he could face at this point that I would be like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
It's a situation where they did not pull the trigger when they've had so many opportunities.
Yeah,
exactly.
They
I
totally.
think if they would have pulled the trigger, it would have been a failure anyways.
We'll never know, unfortunately. And I think looking back when they did that Dogs of War bullshit, when they had that 3-man stable, that was the point where they derailed it, and it wasn't salvageable.
Yeah, no, the motherfucker's walking around like Hulk Hogan. People are fucking running up to him. Yeah. He's starting to gain some momentum, and then all of a sudden, oh yeah, he's a heel again, guys.
When Hulk Hogan turned at Bash of the Beach, that was 11 years after his run, brother. Not 2 fucking months. Dude, I agree,
at least he's got that Greatest Royal Rumble belt.
Yeah, that green masterpiece. Holy shit. What was the low point in this match for you, OJ? And I know that's a stretch, but you got to think about it. The men's Rumble match. What was the lowest point for you and the one that just made you sick?
The fact there was no surprises, I don't know. This wasn't the best possible Rumble. I don't know. I've seen better. I feel like last year's even was a little bit better.
Yeah, I think last year's was better, but I think this Rumble, I don't know if I'd watch it again, but I wouldn't give it a thumbs down. It was just kind of average, I guess you could say, and I think that's what the column is, obviously.
Yeah, I would say that my high point would be Aleister Black. Who did he eliminate that was big? I can't even remember now. He kicked somebody out. Shit. That I didn't even think that.
Titus O'Neil.
No, it was
Shelton Benjamin. And that joke actually works this time because Shelton was in the match, OJ. We did it. It took like 8 months, but we finally made it work.
I know. It was all us. I gotta look it up now.
It was Apollo Shelton.
No. He eliminated somebody. Dean Ambrose. That's who it was.
Oh, yeah. Talk about people not reacting to your new theme music. Is that Perry Saturn? No, wait, that's Ambrose's new music.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Scott Steiner's coming out?
Yeah. At least you can tell Cesaro's siren is like French or whatever.
I think my absolute favorite part of the Rumble match was at some point I went in the kitchen to get something to drink. I came back and I thought that on Andrade and it was him and Ziggler. I thought they were the only two left in the match. I was like, what the fuck happened? Like everybody got thrown out and these are the two guys left. And for about 2 minutes I thought those were the two guys. And then I realized everybody else was outside the ring.
And at that moment, what were you thinking? Like, really? Like this?
I was like, Andrade's going to fucking WrestleMania. Because it's not going to be Ziggler.
What if Ziggler would have won? I think that would have been a collective groan.
It would have been like at SummerSlam where he faced Ambrose for the title.
I'll tell you what, the biggest pop for me overall the whole night. It's been a long time since I've burst out fucking belly laughing at wrestling. Fucking Randy Orton giving Nia Jax RKO.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I was that happy.
Even before, like we were saying it before you came on the show, even before he hit the RKO, that look that the camera zoomed in on, like you knew it was coming in a minute or so. And just when the crowd saw it in the Titantron, just, him setting up for it, that was great. I did a belly laugh too. And we were talking about like Mysterio's fucking, his reactions and all that shit, yeah.
No, absolutely excellent moment. It was, that made my year.
Attacking R-Truth as well.
Yeah, I figured because I mean, as soon as I would say, I don't know, the whole number 30 Nia Jax thing. It's like, what the fuck?
So
like, I was honestly like hoping and I know this is gonna be fucking sacrilegious, but I was hoping to hear fucking Dana, and Batista runs out. Like that would have been incredible, but no, we got fucking Nia Jax.
I confused your mouth guitar. I thought you were doing the Dan. I was going to say, so I was wrong. No Roman. But God damn it, I had a hunch. I had a feeling Roman was coming.
If it was fucking Roman, whoever it was, but I mean, it's one of those things where it's like nobody felt big, and it was a thing where it was like anytime like a no way Jose.
For some reason, Jeff Hardy kind of did though, OJ. For a second. What? He felt big for a second, the way the crowd reacted. And then it processed, like, maybe they could do Hardy versus Bryan. He felt big for like 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, it's just 2019 Jeff Hardy. Never mind.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I felt like, a lot of the guys that came out, it became like I started doing math, which is never good with the Rumble. Like, you should get lost in the Rumble and who's in there.
Yeah.
Not like, shit, they just wasted one on Titus O'Neil. Shit, they just wasted one on Kurt Hawkins. Which I didn't mind their spot that they did, but man, like there was not much else in terms of substance that they were there that they gave to us in this one.
I don't know about you guys either, but I hate knowing who number 30 is going to be also in a Rumble.
Yeah,
100%. 100%.
that was pretty bad.
Also, here's the other thing too. Nia Jax didn't get Dave Finlay's approval to go in the ring.
Yeah, he did like a little swish point. I thought he was like, "Go get him," or something. Or
No, that
off
was
you go.
Becky. That was Becky.
Well,
Nia just walked.
That's right. Yeah, who gave her the green light?
Who
Nobody.
gave her the green light? Yeah,
There,
exactly.
there was no dude. There was
Truth.
no agents there. The fuck.
So yeah, and I'm glad that it's Dave Finlay who gets to decide who, who's going to carry the company on their back.
The
Potentially.
gatekeeper, Dave Finlay. My God, guys, we did it. Royal Rumble's in the books, and of course Seth Rollins gets the win. I thought for sure they were going to do the Chris Benoit standard little man, big man finish with the head scissors, but they didn't. They turned it into a curb stomp. And that was that. At that point, I had phoned it in. I had already had my phone up when it was down to Rollins and Braun. Like you said, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, anybody could have seen the outcome.
Yep, and I picked Seth again. So again, winner.
I did as well.
Roast beef.
I think so. I don't remember. I might have picked him. I might have picked John Cena. I don't remember. Because they told me about 100 times that he wasn't going to be there, so I figured, oh, he's going to be there. But nice to see I was wrong.